Well, call it what you want, but the president's not calling it anything. The administration ruling it doesn't have to determine whether that mess in Egypt is a government takeover or not. So that we'll just keep sending that country over $1 billion in aid to former Congressman Ron Paul, who says we need to cut the funding. Congressman, I think we have to label it something, and it seems pretty obvious that there was an overthrow of a democratically elected government, whether we like that government or not.
Yes, I think you're right about that. That's pretty obvious. But, if we had a proper-sized government, if we had a government living within the law and following the Constitution, this argument would be irrelevant, because I think it'd be much easier to say that nobody should have any foreign aid and we shouldn't condition it. So here we're saying, well, we'll send them money, which we've been doing for, 30-some years, and billions of dollars that went down a rat hole. So I would say that this discussion about was it a coup or wasn't a coup, we're missing the point. We should quit funding these nations and trying to pick the good guys versus the bad guys, because it always seems to end up badly, and we're always switching sides. We put Mubarak in, and then we throw him out, and then we get another election, and then we help throw him out, and then we argue about the coup. I would say let's argue for the defense of this country and quit giving our money away.
And I got to also say, Congressman, it also feels like there's no gratitude. The more money America gives a country, it seems like the more animosity they have towards us anyway.
Yeah, you can't buy friendship, and besides, we don't have money. We have to just borrow the money from somebody or print the money, and it contributes, to it. But it is a bit arrogant for the president to do what he's doing. Even if we don't have the system I would like and make it much cleaner. There are some rules, and he's supposed to follow them, and under the rules, he's supposed to cut off that aid. But the solution isn't going to be, well, if they do exactly as we want, we're going to give you money. So often our foreign policy has been that way.
Right.
You be our dictator, we give you money. If you don't behave, then we bomb you. And I'd like to see someday that we have a different foreign policy.
Yeah, well, you have a large following that agree. You just touched on something, though, with the president and a sort of sense of arrogance with respect to rules that have been in place for a while. This week we know that Holder says he's going to go after Texas and their voting system, despite the Supreme Court ruling. We've seen a tremendous amount of arrogance at hearings on scandals, whether it's NSA, IRS. They come up there, they sort of yawn. What's going on? Is this something that always happens, or is this something that's really unique for this particular administration?
Well, it's been happening for a long time. It's just much worse. And you could add to your list this idea that the president announced today that he would not go to the Congress, that Congress works too slowly, and he's going to do the funding of all the projects necessary. So, no, it's lawlessness. First, these programs many of them are unconstitutional, but at least they're supposed to pay a little attention to the Congress. But, these executive orders are out of control, and I would say, no, it's not unique for this president. But believe me, it's worse than ever before.
Right.
It continues to get worse, but it's up to the people and it's up to the Congress to rein this in. They could if they wanted to, but unfortunately there's not enough backbone up there to really rein in the presidential powers that he has assumed.
But why? So why would Republicans allow this to happen? And the only theory I could believe is that they figure, okay, you know what, make this office the almighty, omnipotent, and sooner or later a Republican will have that kind of power. Why else would they lay down for this?
Well, it's inbred in our system. There's complacency, and for a long time it kept growing, and people didn't complain too much because there was enough money to go around for everybody. Liberals got what they wanted, conservatives got their money to pass out, around the world. But now everybody realizing, we're on the verge of a bankruptcy. Technically, we're bankrupt, but people still trust us. They take our money, and we can keep printing the money. But they know it's coming to an end.
Right.
And this is why I think people are becoming more partisan. But it is a mess. It's the acknowledgement and the allowing of our presidents to usurp these powers and act on their own. That has been so dangerous, but it's been around for a long time.
It's amazing. It's absolutely amazing. And to your point, somebody better draw a line in the sand real soon. We're glad you're still around to talk about it, and we appreciate your time tonight. Thank you.
Thanks for having me.
All right.